All right, hello everybody. hello, and welcome. How is everyone today? Phil here. I'm live on my first of two gameplay streams for this full day of streaming coming up for you guys. What is up today is Tuesday, April 10th, 2018. Okay. Got a few things to talk about on pre-stream today. A few important things to cover, including some interruptions that we're going to have in today's streaming. And I apologize for that. It's something that happens actually every year, but typically it doesn't affect the streams because of a different scheduling. As you guys know, this year my schedule is all different. I'll explain it in a few minutes. We will get to that in a moment. But anyway, welcome. Welcome to a full day of gameplay streaming. What are we doing today? Well, first, on this very first gameplay stream of the day, I'm going to be checking out a new game called Extinction. This is a video game that seems to mash up the premise of several different games together. Think the graphical style and world design of, say, Warcraft with the premise of Attack on Titan, where giant orcs are invading human settlements and destroying them, okay? Combine that with the gameplay elements of a game such as Shadow of the Colossus, where you need to figure out how to scale a giant to find a weak point and take it down, okay? That's kind of, seems like that's the premise of this game. Now, we'll know more as I play it, but this is a game that, you know, really not a lot was known, besides just seeing the gameplay trailer for quite some time. I did obtain a review copy of the game, and boy, is it a perfect timing to be checking out a game like this. Reason being, I just finished Far Cry 5. I literally just completed Far Cry 5 yesterday on stream, including finishing up the story, playing a little bit of Far Cry Arcade, and reviewing it live. So the Far Cry 5 playthrough is complete. If you weren't here live for the stream yesterday, you can get caught up on all of that by heading over to DSPGaming on YouTube and, you know, watching in the playlist, all right? So, here's the thing. There are no big major new releases right now. The next game that's a big major new release that's coming out is God of War, and that's coming out on April 20th, 10 days from now. So, being that we've got about a week to a week and a half here with nothing really going on in the realm of new releases, this is a very, you know, a much smaller release, let's face it. Extinction, certainly not a hyped game. Not a lot of game, not a game that a lot of people have heard of. But I did manage, full disclosure, to obtain a review copy of the game. Now, I could have played it early. I actually had permission to play the game early on stream and for YouTube. I declined doing that. And the reason is because I'm sticking to my guns and sticking to my philosophy that I don't believe early review copies should exist. I'm of the opinion that everyone should have to go out and get a game on release day. Now, if you're a game reviewer / piece of the media, maybe you should get the game for free. But, you know, as a, you know, a service that you're going to review that game and share information about it with the public. But I don't think anyone should be getting games for free, period. Because far too often in this modern gaming era, I see big, hot, new releases being played a week ahead of time. Oh, did you hear that so-and-so streamer or YouTuber is already doing a playthrough of this game that's not out till next week for everybody else? Huh? Well, how's that fair? Number one, they're getting their hands on a game that everyone wants to play early. Number two, they're making tons of dough. You know that they're making money hand over fist playing a game early because everyone's running to see if the game's any good, to spoil the game and everything early and going to their streams or their YouTube videos. I totally am against this practice. There was one time, folks, when this practice made sense. It was called the 1990s. It was when there was no big internet presence for online media. In fact, there was no internet. The internet existed, but no one used it until like the late 90s. So how did people get information about video games? Magazines. And so what needed to happen was advanced copies of games had to be sent to a game magazine a little bit before a month before its release. All right. And then they would have to play through the game. They have to have time to play through the game and then put out a formal review of the game at the same time that the game was being released into stores. That was an era when we needed early release copies. We no longer need early release copies. They're completely outdated. It's a very, very ancient, archaic form of promotion, in my opinion. And I don't agree with it at all. I think that today, in the modern era, it really isn't a fair ground anymore for people who cover stuff, gameplay-wise. It's like, why does so-and-so YouTuber, who, by the way, in a lot of cases, the people who get the games early aren't even known for gaming or good gamers in particular. They're just Joe Blow YouTuber who has a ridiculous amount of followers, gets a fucking game early, and gets to play it early and make tons of money, bank on it, just because they're, you know, some guy who does daily vlogs or some stupid shit. And then they get to make extra money and basically cannibalize the market because everyone else doesn't get the game until later. It's ridiculous. I completely disagree with it. Oh, by the way, when these game media outlets tend to get these games early, they don't do a very good job of reviewing them. Because there's a lot of things like, for example, day one patches that aren't implemented. Online components don't work properly. And how many times have we seen, you know, reviews go out there, and then when the game comes out, it's really not that 100% pertinent anymore. I don't believe in it. I think the early release reviews, early release copies shouldn't exist anymore. All right? I just don't think so. Okay? I don't think anyone should. Not game reviewers, not Let's Players, nobody. Nobody should be getting early copies of games for any reason. Everyone should get it on release day. Now, if you get a free copy of the game because the company wants you to promote their game, that's something completely different. But I just believe we should all be playing it at the same time. That's just my opinion, all right? You can completely disagree. That's okay. I know there's people who just love this philosophy that I want to review on day one so I know whether to buy the game on day one, because people have no self-control, apparently, and can't stop themselves from buying into the hype of a day one release and running out and buying it on release day before they have any information if the game's good or not. They can't just wait a few days for people to start playing these games on the internet and then share that so you know if it's good or not. I don't understand that. I've never been of that mentality, but I guess a lot of people are, because obviously it's a big thing, right? So it's okay if you disagree with me, all right? But I'm just telling you this is my philosophy, which is why, you know, this week I had an opportunity to play Extinction early, and I forwent it. I said, no, I'm just going to play it on release day when it's actually coming out on this Tuesday. And so here we are, guys. Now, here's the thing. I got a review copy, all right? And I'm going to be playing this definitely today and more than likely tomorrow. So we're at least going to get around maybe 8 hours or so of gameplay of Extinction. I don't know how long the campaign of the game is. I've seen some people claim it's around 8 to 10 hours long. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But I don't know. I'm going to play it for probably at least 2 sessions. But the good news here is, if the game is great, we're going to have a fun new game to play this week, right? If the game ain't so great, or it gets repetitive or boring, you know what? I'm in no obligation to continue and finish playing the game. I'm just not, you know. If I feel I'm so bored and stream viewers are so bored with the game that you guys want me to do something else, I can do that. I can just switch it up and do something different, okay? So there you go. That's the cool thing about this. It's not like, oh, it's a big AAA release and I really have to finish it to the end to review it. It's not. It's a filler. Let's face it, guys. It's a filler game. It's a filler release. It's something that I'm only doing because there's really nothing else going on right now. And we're really kind of all just biding our time until God of War comes out next week. Let's face it. I mean, we're being matter of fact here. So let's check out this game and let's see what it is. If it's great, amazing. I'll tell you. If it's not, I'll tell you. You know, that's how I handle things. Very fairly, very open mind here. I'm looking forward to at least trying it and seeing what it has to offer. Okay? So that's going to be today's first gameplay stream here. 4+ hours of Extinction gameplay live on stream, and we'll see exactly what the game entails. Now, tonight, I will be doing a second gameplay stream. It will be Ni no Kuni 2 continuing. We're right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of a dungeon and story in Ni no Kuni 2, which is pretty good. And so I'm looking forward to more of that tonight. Hope you guys will join me for Ni no Kuni 2 tonight if you at all can. A lot of fun, you know, loving this JRPG classic vibe, and been playing it for weeks now and having a ton of fun with it. And certainly I know that many of you have been, you know, following along the playthrough, if not live on the streams. You're really digging the more relaxed vibe. It's more chill, all right? It's more chill of a game and of a playthrough. It's not a super serious thing where, you know, constantly there's action going on. I'm a lot of stream interaction and stuff like that. More laid back. So I hope if you guys are looking for a more chill experience, you'll come back tonight and hang out with me as I play Ni no Kuni 2. All right. Now, tomorrow, same deal. It's going to be Extinction and Ni no Kuni 2. Thursday is my day off this week, so no live streams on Thursday, but I'll be returning on Friday with either more Extinction, you know, if the game's good enough, or if not, I'll probably be starting up something new, okay? What will it be? I'm still undecided. I'll be honest, I am heavily leaning towards Bloodborne, but I don't know if I absolutely want to do that or not. I'm still, you know, mulling it over in my head. And then I think Friday night, I'm going to do a session of PUBG, a weekly session. Maybe I'll do once a week. So Friday night, I think I may play PUBG. And then Saturday, I'm going to be doing Ultra Street Fighter 2, my kind of a weekly session of Street Fighter to keep me, you know, keep the rust off of me so I'm ready for the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection when it comes out in May. And then probably Saturday night, more Ni no Kuni. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, guys? We'll find out. We'll see how things go. But that's kind of the rough blueprint for this week. And, you know, again, all heading up until next week when I'm going to do God of War. Oh, by the way, I should mention, God of War. It's now official, guys. I am doing a midnight release for it. Although I say midnight release, it's really not. It's a 9 p.m. release here on the West Coast. So it will be Thursday, April 19th. I will be doing a 9 p.m. release. As soon as it unlocks digitally on PS4, I'll be playing it. A roughly 2 to 3 hour gameplay stream that night. All right. And then I'll be playing it all day on April 20th. Double stream of God of War on April 20th. So that means within a day, you know, a single day of God of War being released, I will have played, let's say 2 hours that night, premiere night, 4 hours on the next stream, and another 2 hours. So at least 8 hours of God of War gameplay. That'll be right then on release day for God of War. Pretty cool, right? I know a lot of you have been very hyped for this game. I am too. It really is for me, honestly. God of War is the first big release of the year. I mean, there have been, yes, you might argue, oh, but what about Far Cry 5 or Monster Hunter or Dragon Ball? I mean, all those are all right, but for me, God of War is the biggest release so far, and really, honestly, the only notable release so far this year. I'm sorry, I know a lot of, oh, but Monster Hunter is the best-selling Capcom game ever. That's nice. It's also repetitive. It's a grind. It's not anything original. It's pretty much the par for the course for what Monster Hunter's always been. And it doesn't interest me at all. God of War is a complete reimagining and redesigning of the series, right? AAA style game development, new open world, style. It's very interesting to me what they've done with this game. Way better than Monster Hunter. I'm sorry. You know, it's okay if you like Monster Hunter. Again, I'm not criticizing you. As I said when the game came out, I'm sure there's a group of people who love that game. You love the addictive grind of the game. Grind, grind, grind. Kill the same monsters. Grind, grind, grind. Get loot. Grind, grind, grind. I don't like that. I want something a little bit more robust and different. So God of War is my cup of tea. All right? It's really the only game I'm looking for. So, God of War, the biggest release so far this year. Looking forward to it on the 20th. I'll be playing it on the 19th at 9 p.m. Special release stream. And then all day that day on the 20th. Okay? All right, guys, in regards to today's Extinction stream, this stream we're on right now, I've got some news. There's going to be an interruption. I know it sucks because we're starting a new game and there's going to be a stream interruption. I don't know to what extent the interruption is going to be. Allow me to explain, okay? Once a year, an alarm company comes and tests our alarm system, okay? What alarm system am I talking about? Well, we have a installed fire alarm in where I live here. I live in a private community, and the houses are connected. It's a 3 housing unit, okay? And the way it works is in each of our garages, there's a fire alarm that looks for heat and smoke. And if it detects it, it goes off, but it also alerts the other connected units. Because let's face it, if the house connected to you next door is on fire, you probably want to get the hell out of your house too. You probably don't want to be hanging around. You know what I mean? So it's a good system. And they need to test it once a year. So what this means is between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. my time here, Pacific time, Apparently, the alarm company is coming. We don't know exactly at what time, but it will be between 12 and 1 p.m. So what I need to do is at noon, I need to pause the stream, head downstairs, and basically allow them access to the house. All right? And so what they're going to be doing is testing the alarm. Now, I could tell you from personal experience, the alarm is loud as fuck. It's a big beep, 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 screeching sonic alarm. Okay? It's really annoying. Now, I'm going to be having the sound noise canceling headphones on. I may not hear it as badly, but you guys on stream may hear it pretty bad. All right? So, what we're going to do is I'll be playing and streaming. If it goes off and it's so incredibly annoying that we just cannot continue, I'll pause and we'll have a break. You know, it's not going to be going off for too long. I think the longest it ever went off was like 5 to 10 minutes when they tested this thing. Okay, so if we have to do it and pause it when it goes up, fine. We'll pause the stream. We'll just chat it up. Maybe that'll be the opportunity. I'll take a break, or instead we'll have a quick Q&A session. We'll just hang out. We'll shoot the shit. Whatever we're going to do. All right. I just don't want, obviously, a premiere stream ruined by a blaring alarm that's going to be going off. But I am aware they have to get into the house. They have to, listen for it, test it. And the thing is, previous years, I mean, I've lived here in the state of Washington for 4 years, okay? 2014, I didn't move until June, so they didn't do it that year. But I was here 2015, 2016, and 2017 when they tested this before. However, it was never an issue. Reason being, if you guys remember, back to those years, I streamed way later. I always streamed way later. In fact, at one point I was streaming at noon or later, remember? So what I would do is those days, I would just say, oh, well, I'm streaming much later today. I'm streaming an hour later. And then my stream would be a shorter stream. Now, I mean, I'm not going to delay my stream that starts at 10:15 a.m. until after 1 p.m. That's ridiculous. So, because I changed the times, it kind of doesn't jive with the schedule of how they do this anymore. So, it is what it is, guys. We'll have an interruption. Does it suck that it has to happen? Yes. But, hey, it's not a huge deal, in my opinion. I think it'll be done within, when the alarm does go off, it'll be done within a few minutes. Not a big deal. And, hopefully we'll just be able to continue on with the stream, no problem, with a minor interruption. Okay? So there you go. Just forewarning everyone. And so when it happens, if people are wondering what's that noise or whatever, if you were here now, let everyone know, oh, that's probably Phil's alarm. It's being tested or whatever, So there. So at least people know what's going on, okay? All right. Now, let's see. In addition to all of that, I really don't have much else to talk about at all. So I think what we'll do is let's go into the plugs segment, okay? And, talk about a few things, and then we'll begin, okay? We're going to do some shout-outs as well. Should mention that. Okay, so, guys, first of all, subscribers, how are we doing? It's been up and down, up and down, up and down for days. Like, it's been all over the place. At one point, we were up to 440. Then we went down to, like, 405. Then we went into the teens. Then we went into the 20s. Then we were up to 30. Then we were back down to the teens. So, where are we right now? Right now, we are at 415 subscribers, okay? The goal for this month is 450. Guys, this is not unattainable, all right? As long as everyone who is subscribed resubscribes, and we can convince some people who are coming into the stream for the first time to become subscribers, we're going to hit 450. In fact, we've hit 450 many times before, okay? It's certainly not an impossible stretch goal or anything like that. I would think next week, once I start playing God of War, we're going to see a natural influx of more people than usual, more than just the regulars. And then, maybe we'll have a big chance to hit the goal, okay? So that being said, if we hit the goal of 450 subscribers this month, I'm bringing back the Patron's Choice playthrough, by which people who pledge to my Patreon are going to nominate and vote on games for a downtime playthrough. In previous games that have won this event were things like Super Mario Sunshine, Persona, Yakuza, various Sonic the Hedgehog games, and last year we had Spyro the Dragon, okay? So, there you go. I'll talk a little bit more about Patreon in just a moment so you understand how that works. But I would definitely want to do a Patriots Choice playthrough. I think that it's a great thing for filling dead time, but we've got to hit 450 subs in order to do it. It's a motivational tool to get people to subscribe who maybe normally wouldn't, all right? So please, consider subbing. Not only are you obviously helping me out and obviously aiding me to continue to do this full-time, you're also going to have access to all of the chat emotes that everyone uses on a daily basis, all right? And there's also the fact that you get the chat badge, the subscriber chat badge, which is the different crowns based on how long you've been a subscriber. And you don't have to watch advertisements when I go on commercial breaks. You can skip the ads, okay? So, multiple benefits to you, and also it helps me out too. So, all right. So now, folks, let's talk a little bit, very quickly, a brief segment about plugs, all right? If you guys love my daily live streams, if you like the on-demand videos on YouTube, if everything going on is your cup of tea, you love it, you want to see it continue, you like the free streams and free videos on a daily basis and the amount of stuff that I put out, which is tremendous compared to a lot of other people who do this, all right? Then, you please continue to watch the streams and videos and enjoy them. By far, that's obviously the primary way that you can support. However, if you want to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or a video viewer, and you want to help me out in other ways, there are a few other ways that you can do so, all right? The first is my Patreon, which I just mentioned. It's coinciding with the subscription goal this month. You can check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. All right. Your monthly pledges to my Patreon campaign directly aid in the cost of operating this as a business, meaning the cost of games, the cost of electricity, the cost of equipment, right, which pops up from time to time. There's a lot of different costs involved with doing this as a job, okay? And, you know, honestly, since 2015, you guys who pledged to my Patreon have directly helped me in, you know, keeping up with all of that. So thank you very much to everyone who is an ongoing supporter on Patreon. I'm very appreciative of that, all right? Now, that being said, it's not just about supporting me. You get stuff when you pledge to my Patreon. There's perk levels based off of how much you contribute. For example, you could get text or verbal thank yous in my YouTube videos. You can get your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, which, by the way, is coming up on the 26th of August. I almost said August. The 26th of April. So you guys would definitely want to go submit your questions on my forums on thekingofhate.com. Okay? So check that out. You could get a private Q&A video made. You could get a lot of things happening as a result of your contributions. So go to patreon.com/darksidephil. Check it out. All the details, full details are there. All right? And anyone who pledges, thank you very much. In particular, if you pledge $5 or more this month and we hit that sub goal of 450 subs, you'll be nominating and voting on the Patron's Choice playthrough games coming up. All right? Sound good? Cool. All right. Number 2, there's my Teespring shop, a merchandise store where you can buy cool t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, and other swag and merch, all designed by my viewers and fans. It's great quality stuff that I can attest to because I personally own 4 of the shirts plus a sweatshirt plus a mug. The mug I use every single day on a stream, okay? It's great quality stuff. So, that being said, guys, please give it a look. Anything you buy from my Teespring shop, you actually get a pretty sizable commission from. All right, pretty awesome. And I'm very appreciative of anything that you guys happen to buy. If you do happen to buy something and you like how it looks and you want to share that, feel free to send me a picture over on Twitter, at They Call Me DSP on Twitter. I'll share that with my over 25,000 Twitter followers, okay? Obviously, guys, last but not least, if you're here live on the streams, okay? If you're live on the streams and you want to get a shout out, you're hyped, you're excited for what's going on, you want to say something, you want to cheer me on, you want to ask me a quick question, you just anything in particular. You want to get a verbal shout out on stream, there's 3 ways you could do so. First of all, you could cheer with bits. Second of all, you can subscribe to the channel. Or third, you can tip me. All right? Any of those methods, I'm going to give you a shout out with some, you know, rules about that. So let's talk about that. Number 1, please keep it concise. Please do not be super long-winded in your messages. I'm not going to read a 14-sentence paragraph or an excerpt from a Shakespearean soliloquy from one of his plays. You know what I mean? Shorter the better. Keep it concise so it's something I can just read and respond to right away so it doesn't completely derail the stream, okay? Number 2, no negativity. I don't want anyone bringing up other YouTubers or streamers who are doing negative things about me. I don't want to hear about this or that. If someone said something nasty about me, no insults about myself or other people. None of that stuff is going to be acknowledged. And it's funny because we get it all the time. We get troll cheerers and stuff who do it just for the sake of trying to take a jab at me or take a jab or something else or incite me to say something. Not going to work. I'm not going to pay attention to that stuff, all right? It's at my discretion what I do shout out and what I don't. In general, the vast majority of people who do cheer, sub, or tip are in line with everything that's cool, and it ends up being really great. So thank you, everyone who does, do that. We always get a few bad apples, but for the most part, it's pretty smooth sailing and very positive, okay? Now, if you would like a visual recognition on stream for your contributions, as well as my verbal shout-out, all right, well, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and you click on the share button, that appears after you subscribe, which takes a few minutes to show up, I believe, or if you tip me $5 or more, any of those things, you'll get an on-screen thank you animation. These are designed by longtime viewer, fan, and chat moderator Popsicolo. They're really great quality. All right. I think you guys really enjoy these animations. At least that's the feedback I've gotten. So I'd like to give a shout out to Popsicolo for his work. Thank you very much, sir, for those animations. All right. So you get both a visual on-screen cue, and then I'll give you a verbal shout out when I get a chance as well. Pretty nice, right? Every once in a while I get a question. I was like, Phil, why is it only 50 bits but $5 in order to get that on-screen pop-up notification? I almost never address this, so today I figure I got an extra minute. I'll address it. Reason being is this, guys. Bits, okay? When you cheer with bits, it's pretty much a lock. You've purchased those bits through whatever means, and I get them. It works out perfectly, right? However, with your tips, sometimes we get some bad apples who tend to try to dispute tips. And that's not cool. It's not. What they do is they'll say, oh, I'm going to tip Phil $1 or $2. Then they go to their PayPal account that they tipped with and they dispute it. Phil was supposed to send me something in the mail. He didn't. They go through this big annoying dispute process. Now, the good news is, guys, not once, ever, in the history of me getting tips, over 1 year now I've been receiving tips on stream, not once ever have I not received one that's been disputed. I've won every single dispute. So PayPal is very good about protecting streamers, and they understand the process, and they almost always rule in favor of streamer. I mean, the only reason I would think is if a streamer really was trying to scam someone or something. But I've won every single one. All right. However, it's really annoying because sadly I had a guy in particular who was giving me like $1 or $2 tips, and he would do it like 20, 30 times a month. And then he would dispute them all in a batch. So now here I am on PayPal, all right, sifting through all this shit. And it's really annoying because you have to do a manual dispute for each one. And it's just really time consuming, all right? So by upping the tips threshold to $5, I dramatically reduced that because most people aren't going to max out their credit card hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? They'll do 40 fake $1 tips to try to screw me, but they're not going to do $45 because they're not going to put $200-$300 held up on their credit card. See what I mean? So that being said, that's why we need that higher tips threshold in order to get that thank you animation on the screen. I apologize. I wish we didn't need it, but it's just, after doing this for a year, this is just a kind of a thing that I had to do in order for just realistic time constraints. I can't sit in front of PayPal disputing things all day long. That's why I did that. Okay? So, that being said, guys, there you go. There's your explanation. All right. Right. Absolutely, Pray for Rock. Some people don't care if you win the dispute or not. They're just trying to annoy you. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's what it is. People just trying to troll. It's yet another method to take a jab, right? So, better to have less trolling as possible by having the higher threshold, okay? But by the way, if you do lower tips, I'm still going to give you a shout out anyway. That's the thing. So people are, so you have to do $5 to get noticed. No, that's not true. If you do a lower tip amount, I still give you a verbal shout out anyway. So it's not like you're not going to get recognition. It's just you're not going to get the animation unless it's $5 or more. Okay. All right. Let's see. The only other thing I would like to say, and then we'll get to shout outs, is if you're wondering, first of all, how to tip, because I just mentioned tips a bunch of times. There's two different methods. Either if you're watching on, say, a desktop device, if you look below my stream on Twitch, you can see a big grid of information, including links to my YouTube channels, the rules for the stream, which I strongly recommend all of you read so you understand the rules. All right. But there's also a section there that says tips. And if you click on that section, it'll bring you to the tips page where you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message if you want to get that shout out recognition on stream. If you're not on a desktop device, like let's say you're on a phone or whatever, you probably can't see any of that information I just described. So if you just type in !tip into the stream chat, a command will pop up, a link, you can click on that, and boom, you can leave a tip via that method, okay? Excuse me. All right, guys. So that's it. Hold on one second because I want to refresh my Muxie, which has not been refreshed. It is outdated. Gonna refresh it up just to be sure that I've got everything here included. Okay, I do. All right. So, a couple quick shout-outs. Doesn't look like we have too much today, guys. The first shout-out is to Orange X Juice, who has subscribed to the channel. Now, I swear Orange X Juice had been a sub before, but here it's just saying that they are not a consecutive sub, which kind of stinks. And so I will forewarn everyone here, all right? I believe the way that it works with Twitch is that you have to resubscribe within 30 days, or I believe they actually give you leeway. I believe it's like a 5 to 10 day window. So, example here, let's say you subscribe today. Today is April 10th. Well, that means that your subscription to my channel will expire on May 10th, all right? I believe they give you a few days leeway to resub, all right? If you don't resub within those few days, you will not have a consecutive running subscription. The reason it benefits you to have the consecutive subscription, as I said, there's those chat badges. We got these crowns, right, for people who subscribe to me. And they will change and improve depending on how long of a supporter you are. So, for example, you start with the bronze crown, then you go to the silver for 3 months of subbing, the gold for 6 months, the gold encrusted with rubies for a year, and then the 2-year, which will be coming up later this fall, is a diamond crown, all right? Sadly, if you don't resubscribe within the appropriate time period, you'll lose that consecutive running badge. You go back to square one. So Orange X Juice, I know has subbed before, but sadly it looks like he's gone back to the original crown, which kind of stinks. So just a heads up to everyone who is a subscriber or is thinking of subscribing, that's how it works, okay? Shout out to Tantamounter, who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, Tantamounter, for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. And your boy Bob just resubscribed to the channel for the 16th month in a row. All right? The 16th month in a row. And he says, nice. So thank you, your boy Bob, for 16 months of ongoing support. I definitely appreciate your support. Oh, okay. Orange X Juice says, I've cheered before, but I've never subbed. Oh, well, see, I definitely recognize your name, Orange X Juice. So, apologies. I swear you had subbed before. Are you sure you never got a gifted sub? Maybe it's probably just my old fogey. You know, I'm 36 years old now. I just had my birthday. My brain's not what it used to be, guys. My Alzheimer's is kicking in, you know. My nuts are hanging down to my knees, and my Alzheimer's is kicked in. I got to go take my Metamucil later so I can, I can make a bowel movement. So, I'm getting old here. I can't remember things as well, so I apologize that I had a brain fart there, since you've never been a sub before. There you go. Shout out to King Swaggins. King Swaggins just cheered, and he said, I will not be here from 1 to 3:30 your time, just letting you know, in case no other mods are here during that time. All right, well, thanks for the head up, King Swaggins. Appreciate that. I don't know if... we'll have other mods here or not. Obviously, the moderating staff that I have is a volunteer staff. They don't accept payment for their services. They're just here to hang out and have fun just like you guys. So I should say this, please, guys, be appreciative of the moderating staff. Please be nice to them. Don't be dicks. They're here just like you to enjoy the stream and have fun. And as a side thing, they help me out by making sure we don't get trolls and spam bots and all kinds of nasty stuff. So please, be nice to them and listen to what they say. All right. But we'll see. Thank you for letting me know, King Swaggins. Appreciate the heads up that you gave me there. All right, guys. Last but not least, one final thing. If you guys are getting spammed by annoying bots, some people have been telling me recently, all right, that there have been some really annoying bots that have been, a pain in the ass, basically. You cheer, and immediately you get a message from a bot that says something nasty or derogatory about me, or spamming you links and stuff. You subscribe, and then 4 bots message you and say nasty things. This has been happening. Apparently, someone's been buying bots, which is, I know, it's such a disgusting practice. I'm buying bots to spam people on Twitch. Isn't that nice? First of all, whatever you do, never click on a link you get from anyone like that. You never know what they're going to do. They could probably try to get your IP or something. You got to be very careful about what you click on the internet. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, you should report those accounts to Twitch for being spam bots, and Twitch will ban them. Okay? Number 3, if it's something that's going on as like a chronic thing, it's going on all the time, you can either disable completely your private messages here on Twitch to stop getting annoyed, or you can set it in the options that only people who are marked as friends on your friends list can private message you. Personally, I have never effectively used a private message on Twitch for anything, ever, in the history that I've ever used Twitch. I just disable it all, and if anyone actually needs to talk to me, there's other methods. They can tweet me, they can email me, you know what I mean? I just don't want to deal with it because there's just too much garbage on these websites, especially ones that have a social media aspect where people are trying to constantly harass you with links and advertisements and harassment. It's just stupid. So I don't use it. It's of your discretion, obviously, if you want to turn it off or not, but just my recommendation. But definitely, at the very least, you got to report these accounts because Twitch will remove them if you report them, but you got to report them or Twitch doesn't know that they even exist. Okay? All right. Shout out to Nober87. He says, give me attention. It's the Lucky 13. Happy belated birthday, sir. That's right. Nober has resubscribed to the channel for the 13th month in a row. Thank you very much, Nober, for 13 ongoing months of support. It's good to see you. It's always good to see regulars, long-time, viewers stop in from time to time, especially those who can't be here all the time, but they do still stop by when they can. It's nice to see you guys, and in particular, if you could show up for the big releases, right? God of War, stuff like that coming out. In particular, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be me playing games that I grew up with in the 90s, and being able to share that extensive knowledge with you guys on stream on a daily basis. That's going to be a ton of fun. Detroit Become Human, right? That's a game. I love the Quantic Dream games. That's going to be a fun one. State of Decay 2. I loved State of Decay 1, and I bet State of Decay 2 is going to be just as good, if not better. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up in the next couple of months. If you guys could swing by and hang out with me, I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun, okay? All right. Looks like we got Johnny Source Rex cheered. Thank you, Johnny Source. He says, shout out to Kozatov. Make chat great again. Oh, boy. Looks like Kozatov got himself unbanned again. We got rid of the epidemic of the rogue mod who was behind the scenes unbanning all the people who were doing nasty stuff. I'm okay with people getting second chances, but I will say this: if you are a moderator and you give someone a second chance who's been banned before, understand it's your responsibility now to make sure that person behaves, and if they don't, to moderate them appropriately. All right? Because I'll be honest, I know there's a few people past day or two who've been given a second chance, and all eyes are on those people, and if they behave, great, but if they don't, you're going to get Das Boot. Okay? Okay. I think that's it, guys, for pre-stream and shout-outs. I don't see any more. No cheer substitutes. So thank you, everyone, for your contributions. Just a quick reminder one more time. Subs goal. We're trying to push towards 450 subs this month. Right now, we are currently at 418 subs. So thanks to those who did subscribe during the pre-stream. We had a little bit of positive progress. And I am fully in a belief that we can hit 450 subs this month, especially with the hype stuff coming up with God of War later this month. All right. And then, also, reminder that you will get shout-outs for your cheer subs or tips, and you can get a visual pop-up as well for any of your contributions, depending on, if you hit those criteria. All right. Thanks, guys. let's now begin with Extinction. Let's see if it's any good, and we'll go from there. All right.